Michael Jackson. A name that echoes through history like a beat that never fades. A dancer who made the stage his universe. A voice that melted hearts across continents. Michael Jackson, the one and only king of pop, was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana, USA. Michael Joseph Jackson was the seventh of 9 children in the Jackson family. From the very beginning, he was destined for greatness. He wasn't just a child, he was a phenomenon in the making. In his fabulous career, he received 13 Grammy Awards, 39 Guinness World Records, and the Grammy Legend Award. He supported over 39 charities, making him one of the most generous celebrities in human history. But on June 25, 2009, the world stopped. The legend, the icon, the man who gave us magic was gone, ladies and gentlemen. This is the story of Michael Jackson. A boy who became a star who became a king, and a king who became a legend. The final curtain. Inside the death of Michael Jackson. On the morning of June 25, 2009, the world awoke to silence. Michael Jackson was dead. And behind that tragic headline lay a story that was darker, deeper, and far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. The last rehearsal. It was just past midnight, and inside the Staples Center in Los Angeles, Michael Jackson was rehearsing for what he hoped would be the grandest comeback in music history. The This Is It tour was more than a performance. It was redemption. Years of legal battles, public ridicule, and emotional exhaustion had left Michael scarred, but determined to return to the stage stronger than ever. On that night, he danced like the old Michael. He moonwalked, he sang, he smiled. His team said he was full of energy. Fans outside the gates cheered as his black SUV rolled out of the arena, headed home. But what no one saw was the pain behind the perfection, the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the fear that the magic might not return, and most tragically, the dangerous dependence on medications that would soon claim his life. The mansion at Holmby Hills. Michael Jackson's rented mansion at Holmby Hills was stunning. 13 bedrooms, French chateau design, security cameras everywhere. But inside it was eerily quiet. Jackson was living in isolation, surrounded not by friends or family, but by bodyguards, staff, and one man who would become the center of the investigation, Dr. Conrad Murray. Dr. Murray was hired not by Michael himself, but by concert promoter AEG Live to be Jackson's full-time personal physician. His monthly salary, $150,000, his job, to keep the star fit for the stage. But by June 2009, Murray had become much more than a doctor. He was Michael's last confidant and his drug supplier. Michael had long struggled with sleep. Normal sleep aids didn't work anymore. According to investigators, Jackson had begged Dr. Murray for propofol, an anesthetic used in hospitals to knock out patients before surgery. In Michael's world, it was called milk. It was powerful, dangerous, and completely inappropriate for home use. The fatal night. On the night of June 24th, Jackson returned home from rehearsals just after midnight. He was exhausted but restless. As per routine, Dr. Murray entered his bedroom and tried giving him sedatives, lorazepam, then midazolam. But nothing worked. Around 1:30 a.m., Murray gave in. He administered 25 milligrams of propofol, diluted with lidocaine. Within minutes, Michael fell into unconsciousness. Murray claimed he monitored him for a while. Then, for some unknown reason, he left the room, made phone calls, checked emails, and even texted. When he returned sometime after 11 a.m., Michael wasn't breathing. Dr. Murray attempted CPR. He didn't call 911 immediately. He said there was no landline and he didn't know the house well. He tried calling Michael's bodyguard to send help upstairs. Precious minutes ticked away. At 12:21 p.m., a 911 call was finally placed. "We have a gentleman here. He's not breathing. We need help immediately." Paramedics arrived within minutes. They found Michael Jackson lying on a bed, unresponsive, no pulse, no breath. They tried reviving him for 42 minutes. Nothing worked. He was rushed to UCLA Medical Center. At 2:26 p.m., Michael Jackson, the greatest entertainer the world had ever seen, was declared dead. Shockwaves across the world. The news of Michael's death spread like wildfire. Fans collapsed outside the hospital. Celebrities tweeted in disbelief. Candlelight vigils began outside Neverland Ranch. Television channels across the globe ran breaking news banners. It was more than a tragedy, it was the end of an era. But behind the tears and tributes, questions started bubbling. How could a healthy 50-year-old man simply die in his sleep? Why was a hospital-grade anesthetic being used inside a rented mansion? And who was Dr. Conrad Murray, the man who witnessed the final hours? The forensic truth. The Los Angeles County coroner launched a full-scale investigation. Autopsy results revealed that Michael Jackson died from acute propofol intoxication, with other sedatives like lorazepam and diazepam also found in his system. The cause of death was officially listed as homicide. The forensic timeline didn't match Murray's statements. He had told police he only gave a small dose of propofol, but the amount in Jackson's bloodstream indicated a much higher, possibly repeated dose. Investigators believed he either panicked, covered up details, or both. Even worse, Murray had no proper resuscitation equipment, no heart monitor, no defibrillator, no crash cart. He was administering a powerful anesthetic in a bedroom without backup. The trial of Dr. Conrad Murray. In 2011, Dr. Conrad Murray was charged with involuntary manslaughter. The prosecution painted him as reckless, negligent, and driven by greed. He ignored medical protocols, delayed calling 911, and altered records to cover his tracks. The defense tried to argue that Michael Jackson self-administered the final dose of propofol, but it didn't convince the jury. After 6 weeks of testimony, the verdict was read: guilty, legacy or conspiracy. Though Murray was convicted, many fans and conspiracy theorists remain unconvinced. Some say Michael was murdered by the industry, by people who wanted to control his estate, or by forces far more powerful than Dr. Murray. They point to his strange final days, alleged fears for his life, and his massive music catalog worth billions as potential motives. Others argue it was a tragedy waiting to happen, the result of years of prescription drug abuse and enablers who never said no. Regardless of the theory, the facts remain haunting. A man who brought joy to billions died alone in a rented mansion, craving sleep. The final curtain. Call. Michael Jackson's death marked more than the loss of a performer. It highlighted the dark side of fame, the loneliness, the exploitation, the physical toll of perfection, and the ease with which powerful people can be failed by the very professionals meant to protect them. In the years since, his music has remained timeless, but his story has become a cautionary tale. He was the moonwalker, the child star, the legend, but in the end, he was also a victim of insomnia, of pressure, of silence. And when the final curtain fell, the world didn't just lose an artist, it lost a piece of magic. In loving memory of Michael Joseph Jackson, 1958-2009,